Good morning. The Committee for Parole is called to order. Today's date is August 28, 2024. The time is 9:13. My name is Chuck Tillis. I'll be serving as chair today. My colleagues are My colleagues are Ms. Stapleton and Ms. Prater. The panel is located at DOC headquarters in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Would the staff state their names for the record, please? Thank you.
Francis Abbott.
Shakita McWhirter.
Screen went off now.
Thank you. Our remote location is IBERIA Parish. Mr. Reed, would you state your name and DOC number for the record, please?
Ernest Reed, 382292.
Is there any staff there with you?
Yes, sir.
They state their name and name for the record, please.
Deputy Brittany Moore.
Thank you. We will begin our interview. I will read the charges, the rules that you violated. You failed to report monthly as directed. And when I read these, you can answer guilty with a statement or not guilty with a statement or just guilty or guilty. You failed to report monthly as directed, guilty or not guilty?
I will say after the absconding, sir, that's a guilty plea. But
Guilty.
before,
Just guilty or not guilty, we're gonna let you explain or talk about it later. There's someone who will handle your case.
okay,
You moved from the listed address of 103 Rod Lane, Baldwin, Louisiana, prohibiting home visits. Excuse me?
that was our radio.
Prohibiting without permission to abscond to the misdemeanor, which is evident of your arrest and expedition from Minneapolis, Minnesota. He was absconded parole supervision on or about 8/31/2023 when you were sent to your listed residence of 103 Rod Lane, Baldwin, Louisiana. You moved from the address without permission or knowledge of your parole or probation. What's your plea, guilty or not guilty?
That's still my address, but what you just said is true, so I plead guilty.
Plead guilty? Okay. And since being on parole, you failed to make a single payment toward the account and has amassed an arraignment of about $1,701. Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty, sir.
Okay. On number 3, I didn't ask you if it was guilty or not guilty. You moved from the listed address and you pleaded guilty or not guilty?
I pleaded guilty.
Okay. Mr. Prater is handling your case and he will be asking you some questions on that. But you have some people who are going to speak on your behalf this morning. Am I correct? Mm-hmm. All right. I will ask Mr. Muhammad. Okay. Ms. Weatherspoon, can you speak now? She's trying to get on also.
Can you hear me?
Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, would you state your name, please, for the record?
Ian Witherspoon.
Okay, you have about 2 minutes, 3 minutes to speak on his behalf.
Uh, I- um, he's in a relationship with my friend for over 20 years. He has been the perfect gentleman. I have 21 grandbabies and 6 children, 5 boys, which is being boys. Um, he has, he's a good man, and I just like his work ethics. He just mannerable. I have 5 boys. He was just teaching them things like, mowing the lawn, doing painting, drywalling. He like a person with, um, what how they say, a jack of all trades, master of none. Um, and like I say, I have 21 grandbabies, and they love him. And he treats my friend with just so much respect and love, and and that's what I love about him. And I don't know what else to say. I love him, and he's a good man, and I hope he gets a chance to be able to have a second chance. He was doing good. It was hard for him to find a job, but he didn't give up. He didn't give up. He didn't give up. He got the little odd end jobs, but then he had finally just got employment where he can get stable and was together. Um, I know he needs um here. I mean, I know he was doing good here, and I
Thank
know
you.
he can get his job back. And okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Muhammad, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Could you state your name for the record, please?
Khalidi Soldado Muhammad.
Okay. You may go ahead and speak.
Hi there. I am his manager at Holiday Station Stores in Brooklyn Center, Minnesota. Um, it was really heartbreaking to lose him. He's just an excellent employee. There will always be a home for him here, not only with me, but with our general manager and our owner as well. He was there every single day, stay early, come late, or stay late, I should say. Excellent learner, just always on the ball, and he was getting so far, doing so well. We were getting ready to educate him in other things so he could actually be the head of our food service department. He was just that good. It was horrible to lose him. Actually, when this took place, the officer that had to take him where he had to take him came in and told me about it, and we were literally both in tears about it. He's just a great guy, and I really hope that he is able to get a second chance. He definitely has a job. He will be able to be productive here, and just like he was before he left. And I'm just really grateful to have had him as an employee, period. And he's definitely got somewhere to come when he gets out.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Ms. Berry, can you hear us?
This is Cynthia Witherspoon again. Me and Johanna Berry are together. She's having issues, so I'm gonna let her use my phone. Is that okay?
Sure, that's fine.
I think I can unmute this. Okay. Hello, sir.
Yes, would you state your name for the record, please?
Johanna Berry.
Okay.
Um,
Go ahead.
just briefly, I want to say that Ernest really tried hard to gain employment and get stable and all those such things when he was in Louisiana. Limited resources to show him how to do online applications, simple things that he never had experienced before when he was so young, how to do a resume, all that kind of stuff. So it was very difficult. He came to Minnesota and did great. He got his license for the first time he ever had in his life, several jobs, odd jobs.
then more stable employment, training programs. He's accessed everything that Minnesota had to offer. So, you know, truly it may have been a mistake to leave without permission. We can't deny that. But he really had good intentions of why he, you know, left when he did.
Thank you so much. Mr. Reed, you also have supporting you this morning is Siobhan Maxwell and Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown and Miss Brown. Okay. Mr. Reed, Mr.
Yes, sir.
Prater has your case and he will be asking you some questions. Mr. Prater?
Yes, sir, Mr. Reed, how are you today?
How you doing, sir? I'm nervous as all I do is I'm scared to death.
Yes, sir, I've seen that. I won't take a long time because yours is pretty simple. And it's the fact that you got a travel permit to go to Minnesota and you never came back, correct?
I would be honest with you, sir. I didn't get a travel permit. I have before a couple of times, but not that time, sir. I didn't.
Okay, I must have misread this because it said you went by the place and you get a travel permit. Anyway, that was late 2023. Anyway, it says that by August of 2023 is when they said by then you had absconded. And my question is, you were just paroled in 2022.
Yes, sir.
And already in 2023, you've violated your parole by going out of the state and staying out of the state and not paying your fees. So why should we give you a break? The parole was a break.
I don't know how much time I have to speak, sir, but I can definitely answer that. When I went to prison, sir, I was 19 years old. I never had an opportunity to be my own man in society. And when I got out on parole, everything was new to me. And I had a great parole officer, no lie about it. This man looked out for me. He gave me many breaks. He gave me many chances. But at the same time, sir, I had a job at AutoZone in Franklin. And the people was training me to work the job. And when my parole officer called me, sir, I had to stay on the phone with him for 25 minutes. And when I got off the phone with him, the man at the job asked me who was that? And I told him that was my parole officer. So he was telling me, being that I couldn't do the training properly, he would have to let me go. I didn't give up. What I wanted to do was I wanted to make it, sir. I didn't abscond like I wasn't coming back. I went to go get the money to pay my parole fees because I didn't have transportation. I didn't have no place to go. I was homeless. I was sleeping outside. I didn't have nothing to do. Minnesota offered me plenty of jobs. They taught me CPR. They helped me to get my license. And my intention was to get the money for my parole and come back home, which is the lady, my manager, Miss Khalidi at Circle K, was helping me to do, because it was my intention to come back, pay my fees, get established, get my own place, because after the job at AutoZone, I also was working at the Forest Restaurant. Up until the time my parole officer visited me at the Forest Restaurant. And after he visited me at the Forest Restaurant, my boss came and spoke with me privately, and he asked me who that was. I told him that was my parole officer. When my parole officer left, my boss told me that he would have to let me go. So that's 2 jobs that I had lost, which I had found employment in Louisiana, sir. I'm not complaining. I'm not trying to whine. I'm just giving it to you how it is. Whatever you go after that, I just want to give you the truth. That's what happened with me. I did not abscond like I was running away. I wasn't running away. I wanted to pay my parole fees. I wanted to be able to have my own place, because I got put out of not 1, but 2 homes. I was living with my auntie till my parole officer came over there and visited. She lives right next door to her landlord. That's the lady that's on the screen named Miss Joni Brown. I was staying there at first. When my parole officer came to that house to visit and the landlord saw that, he found out that I was not on the lease. So I had to go. I asked my brother if I could come stay with him, and he allowed me to stay with him for a while till my parole officer came and visited me at my brother's house. When my brother's wife told me that I wasn't there, I was seeking a job application at that time. And she said that the parole officer was knocking on inside the house and it scared her. being that I was bringing problems to these people's house, sir, I wanted to be my own man. So I went to a place where I could get the transportation, get the money, get the work, and come on back home, because I don't have nobody in Minnesota that's family. All my family is here. I wanted to make it, and I was fighting. I would not quit, and I would not give up. And with all that being said, sir, I expect to be punished, because even though I didn't know and I wasn't aware, I had been to Minnesota several times with permission. But to be honest with you, I don't want to lie. The day that I absconded, yes, sir, I was at the parole office. But my plane ticket that I got from a company called First Link EMS, they sent me the plane ticket when I told them I didn't have nowhere to go. I don't have no food to eat. I don't have nothing to do. And I told them my plan from the beginning. I wanted to come up there for at least 6 months, get the money that I needed, come back and pay my parole fees, because I'm very aware that I never made a payment. I wasn't able to because I didn't have any money. And I wanted to make that money and come back and pay my parole fees. And right now, to this day, sir, sitting in this jail, I can promise you that I have all the money that I needed to pay my parole fees in full. Right now, at this moment, I have enough money to put down on the down payment on a car, and I have enough money to put down on an apartment of my own. Without nobody else's help, I don't have to be at nobody else's house. And I have several places of employment that's willing to hire me if I am reinstated, sir. That is the truth, and that's what I'm going to stick with. Thank you, sir.
Hey, thank you. I applaud you for the effort that you're taking, and you seem like a nice enough fella. So but still, the question in my mind that I have to beg to get answered is, and I'm not expecting you to answer this, but we represent not only the inmates, but the public, and we represent also the probation and parole agents out there that every day have to go out and try to find people and drive by people's houses and leave cards like they did so many times at your house. We've got to represent them too. So if everybody on parole decides to go some other state or somewhere else and expect to get a break, what's to keep them from doing what they're supposed to do? And so anyway, enough of that. That's all the questions I have. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Stapleton, do you have any questions?
No, sir, I don't have any questions.
Is the board ready to vote?
I am ready.
Yes.
Mr. Prater?
Yes, sir. Due to the fact that he absconded so recently after being put on parole, went out of state, didn't make any contact for so long, and the fact that he hadn't made any payments, that's what parole's about, to see if you'll abide by the rules. You proved once you couldn't abide by the rules, and then you got put on parole to abide by the rules, and then you don't abide by them. So on behalf of all the agents that have to run around and try to chase people and they're never there and they abscond, I'm going to have to vote to revoke.
Ms. Stapleton?
I agree with everything that Mr. Prater said, and my vote is to revoke.
My vote is to revoke also, Mr. Reed. You have 3 against you. Your case has been revoked. Thank you.
Hey, Mr. Chuck, can I say one thing? My paperwork says right here that I could have retained my counsel. My counsel couldn't be here today, and I didn't know that. I didn't really want to go through this without him, but he had to be in the courthouse today. I have retained counsel that said I can ask for a continuance, and it never was mentioned that I've been on parole and I saw my parole officer every day for 2 years. I reported to him every day for 2 years. I didn't just come out of prison and just break the rules, you know. I understand what y'all, but my counsel couldn't be here today, and I didn't want to go through this without my counsel, so I didn't know what time. He said you have the right to be represented by retained counsel at your own expense, and I have counsel. I have counsel.
At the beginning, you should have alerted us to this, and you'll have to go through the other procedures to get back with your counsel and see what you can do. At this time,
Can you make me aware of that? Because I don't know. I don't know. I didn't know nothing about this, sir.
Someone will contact you from there, from your parole office.
So, I'm
We're
going
gonna
back.
close out this time. Thank you. 9:33.
Man, that's cool, bro.
Ready? Ready?
We're trying to get the inclusion. All right, we're ready.
Ready? Good morning. Committee for Parole is called to order. Today's date is August 28, 2024. The time is 9:45 a.m. My name is Chuck Tillis, chairing for this committee this morning. My colleagues are Ms. Stapleton and Mr. Prater. Our location is at the DOC headquarters in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Our remote location is at Riverbend. Where are they? There it is. Mr. Huggins, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Would you state your name and DOC number for the record, please?
Terry Huggins.
Huggins.
Terry Huggins.
Okay.
41 44 40. My DOC number.
All right. Is there any staff in there with you?
No, sir.
There's no staff in there with you?
I got a staff. He behind the glass.
Okay. I'm going to read off the charges against you, and you can plead guilty or not guilty, or guilty with a statement or not guilty with a statement. That's all you need to do. And then there's someone who is going to be representing or speaking to you on it. Are you a employee?
Yes, sir, I am.
Could you state your name for the record, please?
My name is Lieutenant Johnnykin.
Thank you so much. Do you have a questionnaire, Mr. Huggins, in front of you?
A what?
Questionnaire that they gave you in front of you?
Nah, they never gave me anything.
Okay, we're gonna put it up on the screen, and I want you to look at it, verify.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
Okay, is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
You did a request for an attorney?
Yes, I did request for an attorney.
Do you want to continue with this, or you want to wait and get your attorney?
He was supposed to Zoom in today, but I had the days. I told him tomorrow. So my family was trying to get in touch with him this morning before I left out of there.
Okay, so do you want to continue with this, or do you want to wait and have your attorney be in with you?
All right, if I continue, how long will it be for that?
We don't know. You would have to go get with him and go through the.
No, we'll go ahead with it.
Say again?
We'll go ahead with it.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to read some charges off, and as I said, you can plead guilty or not guilty, or guilty and not guilty with a statement. You failed to refrain from criminal activities on 10/5/2023. You were arrested for the following charges under docket DC 23-23-06026, domestic abuse battery with serious bodily injury, 1435-3, and theft, 14-67, which was pled down to a disturbing the peace by fist encounter. On 3/11/12/24, the court sentenced you to be confined in the East Baton Rouge Parish for a period of 90 days to be given credit for time served. As a result of your arrest on this charge only, from the arrest, bondage date was from conviction or the remainder of prison of sentence. The court ordered this sentence to run concurrent but any other time being served. The other violation, do you plead guilty or not guilty to the first charges I read?
I plead not guilty to that. I'm guilty of the.
All you have to do is not guilty with a statement, and we'll let you talk about it after you're someone who's handling your case, please.
All right, not guilty with a statement of it.
Okay. The next charge, you have not made a payment on your supervision fee since 11/10/22. This has a result in a significant financial arraignment of $799 at the time of your arrest. Guilty or not guilty? Or guilty or not guilty with a statement?
I'm guilty with a statement.
Thank you. Ms. Stapleton has your case, and she will be asking you some questions.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good morning, Mr. Higgins. Can you see me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, got a question for you. You said the first one, you plead not guilty with a statement. What do you plead not guilty about?
I plead not guilty about. I'm talking about
Yeah.
the first part of the when they're saying like the domestic part with the battery injury.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not guilty of that. I'm guilty of we got into an argument and she was asking me to leave. I don't know, she was supposed to have been on here this morning, but I was messed up with the date. I'm thinking it's tomorrow.
Okay.
She was supposed to Zoom in with us today.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, you pled guilty to the part that is disturbing the peace, and it was by fistic encounter, which is not just a verbal conversation that got loud.
I never knew that it was, I plead guilty to fistic encounter until I got the paper from the parole office. That's not, they didn't mention that in court. That's not.
All right. Well, you did. So let me remind you what the Baton Rouge City Police wrote when they got over there. They wrote that when they got on scene, the female's wig was forcibly removed, a mop handle shape mark was on her arm, and a dislodged tooth in her mouth. With these statements being made, it is alleged that you've been involved in criminal activity. So that's what you could have been charged for, because it was going to be domestic abuse battery with serious bodily injury, which was going to carry a much heavier sentence. But you pled down to the disturbing the peace with fistic encounter. So that's your circumstances there. Do you need to say any more about that, or are you understanding it better?
I understand what you're saying, but when we were in court, I never know that it was being broke down to disturbing the peace by fistic encounter. I never knew that until.
Okay. All right, now we're going to go to the next one, which is the that your payment for supervision fees, that you haven't made them since November of 2022, and you're in arrears of $799. So you pled guilty to that, so no problem with that one, right?
I just had I said guilty with a statement. I got a young daughter that's 16 that was staying with me. And
okay.
A lot going on with her at the time. And my next child was locked up. He's 17. He just made it home. So had a lot going on with trying to do everything and handle the household. And she was giving me a lot of problems I had to go through with her. And I kind of like stayed on her. So that kind of had me where I couldn't get to all this and pay the bills.
But it is true that you didn't pay your supervision fees. Am I correct?
Yeah, I paid some when I had when I had an extra change to do it. I did bring a couple fees in, but I always kept in touch with the parole officer I had at the time and let her know what was going on with me. You know, she just told me if I couldn't pay it, just make sure I bring in my money reports and come in when she could see me whenever she called me, and I did by that. I never ducked her. I always came in if she called me in and whatever. If I had something going on, I called her and and let her know what was going on.
Okay. Well, I don't have any more questions.
Mr. Prater, you have any questions?
Any questions?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
No questions. No, sir. No questions.
Is the board ready to vote?
I am.
I am.
Ms. Stapleton?
Yes, sir. I vote to revoke today based upon him pleading guilty to the disturbing the peace with a fistic encounter and the fact that he is in arrears of his supervision fees.
Mr. Prater?
I concur with that.
My vote is to revoke also. Mr. Huggins, it's been decided that your case has been revoked, and at this time, we're going to close out. This concludes our business for today. We have one more.
They'll put it on mute now.
Good morning. I don't think they can hear us. Oh, we can't hear him.
After the arrest, right? After the arrest.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
We're continuing.
Morning, everyone.
My name is Chuck Tillis, chairing for this committee today. My colleagues are Ms. Stapleton and Mr. Prater.
Morning, Mr. Prater.
Would you state your name and DOC number, please?
Lejuan Patton, and I'm not accurate with my DOC number. Was that the number that was on the screen previously? 583-857, I believe.
583-857. Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Do you have a questionnaire in front of you?
No, sir. Questionnaire.
And I think I'll run that you have.
Okay. Okay. I see.
Did you sign that? Is that your signature?
Yes, sir. It is.
And you're not requesting counsel?
No, sir.
Okay. Thank you. I'm going to read some charges, and each charge you can plead guilty or not guilty, or guilty with a statement, or not guilty with a statement. If you just give me those pleas, then we're going to have someone take your case, and then you can discuss it. Okay? The first charge is you failed to report to the Alexandria District Office since August 2022, leaving your whereabouts unknown. On October 3rd, 2023, a warrant was issued by Agent Timothy Ryan for absconding supervision. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or guilty with a statement?
I have a guilty plea with a statement, just to make sure that everything is accurate. Okay.
We'll talk about it next. We just want to get the plea in, please.
Okay.
All right. The next charge, you failed to make any payments toward your supervision fee, and you owe $2,142. Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty with a statement, please.
Thank you, sir. I've been assigned your case, and let's talk about the first charge where you didn't report to Alexandria. What happened?
My officers have been changed like so many times that I didn't know who to report to, but and also I had a contact visit with Mr. Timothy Ryan on March the 3rd at my residence on March the 3rd of 2023. My residence has not changed, and I'm there every night, every day. You know, I'm there with my mother. You know, on that part, you know, that's what I have to say as far as you not reporting. But it is accurate that I have not been in the office since 2022.
So you didn't check with your parole officer since then?
Like I said, I had a different officer, you know, and I've had other officers. My last officer that I remember was Miss Sandy Sanders, and she stayed coming by the house. And once she had been retired, they had two other female officers that came to the residence in between that space time of 2022, leading on up until I was given Mr. Timothy Ryan as my officer.
I see. You don't recall their names, do you?
From Miss Sandy Sanders for between her I forget her name. Maybe my mother can say so. They were supposed to be in on the
Okay, they are here. They're here. Okay, the second charge, you failed to make any payments. What happened there? Do you have a job, or tell me what happened there?
Yes, sir. I was working I was working, and to be totally honest, I'm still able to work. You know, my employer is still willing to allow me to work, but sir, I know it's not an excuse to justify me not making payments, but also, you know, like I said, I help my mother, and I have, you know, my kids. I do a lot of, you know, taking care of a house and home. You know, to be totally honest, you know, if you will accept my statement that I'm about to make, I don't want it to, you know, for it to hinder me anymore henceforth. But I also had an addiction, you know, and I plead with the court right down to, you know, take it into consideration that, you know, me being detained for this brief moment has been a blessing from the hindrance of, you know, the stronghold addiction that I was facing. And in all honesty, you know, I'm a great person. I'm a good character. You know, I really would like to be reinstated to get back to my family. And, you know, I even have a child that I just found out about a month and a half prior to me coming to jail. I just asked for, you know, the consideration.
So you say you have an addiction?
I did. I was facing an addiction stronghold, you know, that I was trying to battle. You know, my family, they'll tell you, you know, they can also tell you about it. I brought it to my parole officer.
We're gonna hear from the people who are in your support right now. Miss Alicia Buckhalter?
Yes, sir.
Okay, would you state your name for the record, please?
Elisa Buckhalter.
You may go ahead and speak.
Yes, sir. I'm speaking on Lejuan's behalf. I'm just here to state that he is a great person. He does take care of his family. He also takes care of his brother's kids. He takes care of his nieces and nephews, as well as extended family. He did have an addiction, battling fentanyl use, and it was a stronghold. It hindered his everyday life. He is a great contributor to society. He does help, you know, anybody and everybody. He would give you the shirt off his back if he could. The reason why he didn't report, you know, to his probation or parole officer was due to his addiction. You know, he was scared that he was going to get locked up or have a urine screen or something to that matter. But and the reason why he didn't make payments is because, you know, he helps his family and his extended family as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Miss Jackie Scott.
Usually gonna be on the phone.
She's what?
I'm gonna be on the phone.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, you have something to say? Ms. Skype, would you state your name for the record, please?
Jack Bullet, Titus Robinson. I gave Mike earlier, but it's Titus Robinson.
Okay.
And I'm a little nervous.
That's okay. Take your time.
Yeah. Hey, so what is you need to know?
I thought you were speaking on his behalf.
Yeah. Lejuan is a great guy, great father. He's had a drug addiction. That was the only thing that kept him away from seeing it. I do believe he's on a better path Now, since he's been, since his, incarceration, he's gathered all his thoughts and, you know, what he needs to do going forward. Like see his PO, he never changed his address whatsoever. He was just afraid, you know, people get that way with him, you know. And may my sisters become.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I say, may my sisters on his.
No, there's only two that we have that are speaking on his behalf. Okay.
Tried to go in this morning, but I didn't.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Patton, at this time, my colleagues, I'm going to find out if they have some questions. Ms. Stapleton, do you have any questions?
No, sir, I have no questions.
Mr. Prater,
I have no questions.
is the panel ready to vote?
Yes.
Yes.
Since I'm handling your case, Mr. Patton, according to the rules and regulations that we have to be guided by, my vote will be to revoke because you failed to stay in touch with your parole officer and you failed to make any payments. Mr. Prater?
I concur with that. Revoke.
Ms. Stapleton?
I concur for the same reason, revoke.
Mr. Patton, your request has been revoked today, and this concludes our meeting for now. Thank you so much. We're signing off 10/17. Thank you. The Committee for Parole is called to order. Today's date is August 28, 2024. The time is 10:31. My name is Chuck Tillis, chairing for this committee this morning. My colleagues are Ms. Stapleton and Mr. Prater. Would you state your name? Mr. Terry, would you state your name and give us your DOC number, please?
My name is Terry Mitchell. My DOC number is 612396.
Thank you. Would the staff there state their name for the record, please?
First of all, happy Wednesday, and how are you doing today?
We're doing well. Thank you for asking.
And I'm doing well too. Thanks for asking me. M. Litt, M as in Mary, last name is Litt.
Thank you so much. Mr. Terry, I'm gonna read the offenses that we have on you today. The offenses are 14, 43, 1, 10, CTS, sexual battery, 1493, 2 CTS, cruelty to a juvenile, 1481, indecent behavior with a juvenile. Sentence and date, CT 110 is 10 years, DOC each CT to run concurrent. CT 11-12 is 10 years, DOC each count to run concurrent. CT 13 is 5 years, DOC to run concurrent. Parole date is 5/28/24. Good time, not eligible. Full-time date is 3/25/2027. Mr. Prater will be handling your case today. And we have some oppositions that will speak victims, the victim and the victim's boyfriend. Would you state your name, please?
Janae Dunn.
Janae Dunn. And the boyfriend?
Damian Warner.
Damian Warner. Thank you. Mr. Prater, you may begin.
Hey, Mr. Mitchell, I got just a couple of questions to ask you. What did you plead to on this?
What do I plead to?
Yes, what did you plead to?
I think I pleaded not guilty.
To what?
To common knowledge and the rest of those charges.
Oh, well, I mean, isn't it true that you pled to one charge, indecent behavior with a juvenile, so that they would reduce the other charges or dismiss the other charges? Is that not correct?
Yes, sir, that is.
So you did plead guilty to having a relationship with one of the children.
Mm-hmm.
You are Terry Mitchell, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you were charged with 10 counts of sexual battery, 2 counts of cruelty to a juvenile, and 1 count of indecent behavior with a juvenile. Is that not what you were charged with?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And did you not plead guilty to those?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so everything else was dismissed and you pled guilty to those.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's where I'm getting at. And you were sentenced, if you added all those up, you were sentenced to how many years?
15.
Well, you got 10 counts of one and you got 10 years on each count. So that would have been 100 years if you had to serve them, but they were consecutive. Okay, and then the next one was 2 counts at 10 years each, and that was consecutive also. So if you had to add all those together, it would have been much more than that. But they did run, concurrent. They did run concurrent. And then you got to 5 years consecutive. So you did get a total of 15 years, but if they were stretched out by count, it would have been much more than that. And of that, how much have you served? Of the 15 years, how much have you served?
Like 11. Like 11, I got 3 more.
Okay. And so having taken a reduced plea, having done something so serious as this with 2 children, why do you think you are entitled to get out early?
Well, to be honest with you, I believe that what I did was very stupid and wouldn't have thought about doing any of that. You know what I'm saying? But I have learned and tried to better myself as I was up in here to become a better person so I can be out there.
Okay, I'm not going to re-victimize the victim by getting you to go over details. And just because they'd be very interesting to somebody that doesn't have to deal with this stuff every day, it might be interesting, but it's also very painful. And so we're not going to go back through that. So having said that, I don't have any other questions.
Thank you. So Stapleton, do you have any questions?
No, I mean, I concur with Mr. Prater that he would have served if he'd gotten all 125 years, and we're talking 15 years now. And I agree too that it was a heinous crime, and I feel really sorry for the victim in this case. That's all I've got to say.
Thank you. Mr. Mitchell, have you taken any classes since you've been incarcerated?
Yes, sir. I have took some in LaSalle. I have took numbers of some of them in LaSalle, and I have a paper right here that says understanding, reducing anger and feelings.
Did you take any sexual abuse classes?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but I know I have took several of those phases 1 and 2, anger management, and the one I just read to you, and a few others. I was going into I had 2 more classes to go to before they shut the jail down to be turned to ICE camp.
Okay, so in this 11 years you've been there, you've taken about 2 classes, 3 classes, maybe?
A total of 4, yes, sir.
Well, you've taken 4. Okay. I have no more questions. We have today, speaking in opposition, is Ms. Dunn.
I came today because I don't feel that he should be released early. This situation has caused a lot of traumas for me, mentally, physically, and emotionally. And as far as physically, because of the incident, I have problems getting pregnant. So it's really hard when I kind of started family that I have this issue because of this, and I'm trying to start a family and I really can't, and it just brings me back up that this has happened to me, and I can't really go forward with what I want to do in life. I started taking therapy at an early age, and I developed a lot of severe depression phases where I would just do a lot of self-harming. I have grown beyond that, but with the case coming up and me being notified about it, it has brought a lot of trauma back up and bad memories, things that I pushed to the back of my mind. It caused a strain on the relationship that I had with my mother because of it. We don't actually talk as much, don't communicate as well as we should because of the situation. I'm more so just feel as though that there's more work to be done within himself. I'm not really sure that what he responded today was something that he should be released on by what he said. I feel like it was more work that needs to be done and something else that could possibly happen in terms of him bettering himself to feel like he can be in the outside world.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Warner, Mr. Warner.
Please now, sir. Mr. Dunn, the victim's father would actually like to speak if that were possible. George Dunn.
Okay. Okay.
What I can say is every day as a father, I have to try to be protective of every child around me because of the situation. I have to try to every little kid that's around me because I'm scared that somebody like this down here causing harm to me. And the reason why I feel like we shouldn't be able to get out right now is because even after what he just said, he hasn't been through me some type of learning situation to where he can behave himself when he gets out. I don't want him to get out and not have strength in his hand to be around somebody else's child, but it's somebody else's kid. Like I say, every day for me, it's trying to be protective of kids to make sure they don't have to deal with it.
Thank you. At this time, Mr. Prater and Ms. Staples, are y'all ready to vote?
Yes.
Yes.
What's your vote, Mr. Prater, since this is your case?
Deny this due to the seriousness of the crime, the fact that he hadn't taken any classes since then, and doesn't appear that remorseful. Deny.
Ms. Stapleton?
Yes, sir. I'm going to deny too. And if the victim is still listening, I'm not saying that you need to do this. I just want to put it out there. There is help for sexual assault victims through the Crime Victims Reparations Fund and through an organization called STAR. It's Sexual Trauma Awareness and Response. And there's somebody that you can go to and get free help. Because I do know that this brings everything to the surface. And possibly you've already been told that, probably through the Crime Victims Assistance with the DOC. But this is just me double checking and wishing you well. but I vote to deny.
Thank you. My vote is to deny also. And Mr. Mitchell, your case has been denied by 3 of us, full panel, and we wish you well. We hope that you would take some more training and classes. This concludes our we're closing out. Thank you. At 10:46 a.m.
Thank you from TENSAS.
Yeah, then you're having a parole board meeting today.
Proposed to zone.
Better mute it.
Morning. The Committee for Parole is called to order. Today's date is August 28, 2024. Time is 10:57 a.m. My name is Chuck Tillis, chairing this committee this morning. My colleagues are Ms. Stapleton and Mr. Prater. We're located at the DOC headquarters here in Baton Rouge. Staff, introduce yourself. Disregard. Mr. Demetrius,
Yes, sir.
would you give your name and DOC number, please?
Demetrius Bradley, 327039.
Is anyone there, the staff there with you?
Yes, sir.
Ask them to state their name for the record, please.
Cheryl Cook, administrative here at the facility.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Demetrius, your offense is armed robbery with habitual offense modifier, February 17th, 2009, resentenced on June 12, 2019. You have a sentence of 50 years hard labor. Parole date is 2/23/2025. Good time date is 11/30/2055. Full term is 2/23/2057. Your case has been assigned to Mr. Prater. You have some people here on your behalf today. Ms. Audrey Thorne, Stan Pope, Anthony Kennan, Michelle Bradley, and Antoinette Bradley.
Sir, we have two here with us today that would like to speak to also.
Okay. Oh, we can only allow one, if that's okay.
That'd be okay.
Okay, only one. We have two here.
Okay.
All right. Mr. Prater, this is your case. You can continue.
Yes, sir. Before I do that, Mr. Chairman, could we hear what everyone else has to say, and then I could ask my questions in case I hear something that
I'm sorry, sure. Ms. Thorne, would you like to speak now?
My name is Audrey Thorne, and I am the Director of Programs here at Louisiana Workforce. As I'm sure the board is well aware, we're part of the state pilot offender rehabilitation program called STEP. So it's a conglomeration of different classes and things like that. I'm sure I won't bore you with the details. I'm sure you guys already know about the program. But as part of this program, we requested 3 of Angola's best and brightest inmate mentors and counselors to serve as missionaries of sorts to our STEP population. Demetrius Bradley is one of the men that was chosen. I can say with complete confidence that he has been a vital part of our team here. He has taught classes, he has done peer-to-peer counseling, and offered overall valuable insight to me and the rest of the team. I have been able to count on him to lead our students in the right direction. He routinely exceeds expectations and helps to really champion this program to success. Ladies and gentlemen of the board, this is no longer an offender who is in the process of recovery. This is a leader who imparts his wisdom on others with no other motivation than to see people become the best version of themselves. In my opinion, he's ready to take that wisdom outside of the prison walls and share it with our community at large. And I do believe that any community, any church or place of employment would be lucky to have him. And I truly believe that he is a testament of what the offender rehabilitation programs in Louisiana are capable of. Though I will absolutely hate to lose him as a member of our team, I really believe that he is the ideal candidate for parole.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ms. Bradley, Antoinette Bradley.
Yes. I don't know if it's morning or afternoon.
Morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Fine.
To you as well as the members of this board. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to speak on behalf of my brother.
I am attorney Antoinette Bradley. I wanted to say that I am an attorney because my big brother, Demetrius, is one of the reasons why I chose. Excuse me, sir? So again, I say thank you so much for allowing me to speak, and as a judge advocate general of the United States Army, and just as a human being, using sound judgment, I do understand the seriousness of this hearing today. And I'm here to try to implore you that there is still good in Demetrius, and that he is so much more than the failures that incarcerated him. I believe that there are three things to do when correcting a wrong. The first one is acknowledgement. Know and own up to the fact that what you've done has hurt someone and others. The second is education. Determine the what and the why you committed the wrong. And finally, three, to address and determine what you can do to right that wrong, meaning how can you brew positivity out of negativity and help prevent others from engaging in such behaviors. I genuinely believe that my brother has acknowledged his wrong. He's educated himself on why, on how he expressed these negative actions against or towards others. And three, he has addressed those negativities by doing the best that he could do or can do in the four walls of confinement. One of which I would like to highlight was his diligent work as the primary author of House Bill number 394, which was sponsored by Representative Kenneth Cox and signed into law by Governor John Bel Edwards in 2018, namely the Post-Conviction Veterans Mentor Program. This program offers incarcerated veterans an opportunity to mentor other veterans in specialty courts. Again, there is still good in Demetrius. There's still good in him. And I ask you to try to see what I see in him. He is a man who has failed, but he had the fortitude to utilize his rehabilitation period as a time to become a positive force in our state and in our community. So I'm asking that you please grant Demetrius Bradley, my big brother, an opportunity to continue this work on parole. I personally cannot give you, even if the board wants to know, I can't give you an answer as to why he did what he did, why he committed the crime that he committed. And I'm not sure if I actually knew if I would want to expound on that today, because all it would seem as it would be like an excuse for what he did. But one thing that I am sure of is I know that the Bradley family is here to support him in any and every way. We have the means to support him without any type of governmental assistance. We will support him financially. My sister that's here with me today and also other siblings, we own properties. He will always have a place to live that's clean and safe and habitable. We're just asking that you show some grace and not excuse him for his failures, not excuse him for the hurt that he has or may have caused others, that he has caused others, but do give him this opportunity to show that there is still good in him and that there is positivity within the Louisiana prison system with regard to rehabilitation. Again, I ask you to please strongly consider giving my brother or granting him parole. With our support of him, I believe that these are all of the tools necessary for him to be successful, and we need you all to see our support as satisfactory and an avenue for his continuous growth and maturity and matriculation back into society.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
for the
much.
opportunity.
Could we go back to the, someone wanted to speak at the Present. Could you give us your name, sir, please?
There's a.
All right.
Would you
Yes, sir.
state, please?
Can you hear me?
Yes, would you state your name?
Yes, Harris N. Rousey.
You may speak.
Thank you. I am a licensed professional counselor. I've been in the mental health education correctional field since 1965. I am a grandfathered licensed professional counselor. My number is 508, which you can check with the Board of Examiners for counselors. I met Mr. Bradley when I was contracted by the facility to teach anger management and also what's called living in balance, what it is essentially a drug education program. He has been my co-teacher with this. He has consistently been with me. We have never, ever held a class that he and I weren't together. His professionalism and his desire to help people in correctional settings. Also, we share another thing, and we are both infantry lieutenants in the United States Army. I was a little in front of him. I was a Vietnam veteran. And as a result of this and my education and experience, I've been an observer of behavior. One of the things that I see about Mr. Bradley is he is remarkably consistent and remarkably organized. He has started a veterans unit here at Louisiana Workforce. We are also, he and I both are attempting to get in touch with Judge Ritchie in the I think it's the 14th Judicial District. And we want to try to get a program that helps veterans or has them in one place where we can serve them. I am just absolutely impressed with the efforts that this man has made. I think also looking forward that in the future, he will be a person who will cause himself to be honorably acquitted. I don't think he is going to return to a life of crime, and I do not. He is also committed to stay in the Lake Charles area and work to get the veterans program moving and act in that way. And also, we are trying to get in touch with, see if there are veterans at the Calcasieu Correctional Institution. I don't think you will be disappointed if you grant him. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Mr. Bradley?
Yes, sir.
Would you like to make a statement?
I'd like to thank the board for hearing me today. I'm incarcerated for participating in an armed robbery with thrifty liquor. I know that this board is very much aware of my criminal history, my parole revocation, and my past in general. My criminal history is not good. I offer no attempts to defend it. Each criminal act is wrong and has affected many people. To Mr. Carter, Mr. Pleasant, other victims in my family, I'm just sorry. I wasn't always like this. I had a few incidents that caused me to waver. Trauma upon trauma. I broke. I lost myself. And I didn't see any mental health assistance. Had some events in my military life that caused some mental and emotional strain. My transition from military to civilian life wasn't easy, but I know that other veterans have transitioned and I know they've done well. And I don't want to use anything as an excuse, but these are just some of the things that happened. My youngest brother, he was killed in my sector of responsibility. And I couldn't save him. Oh. And unfortunately, I placed a lot of that blame on my own shoulders. I've been incarcerated before, and I did absolutely nothing in the form of rehabilitation. I was still angry. I was broken. I was uncontrolled. And for 12 years, I was angry and ate up grief and guilt. So I guess the question is what changed? Because of my actions, a lot of people who should have never gotten hurt, got hurt. But I was having a conversation with my mother. She was telling me how much she missed her son, how much she longed for him. And I thought she was talking about DeAndre, my youngest brother. But she was talking about me. I was somebody that my own mother couldn't recognize. So I started working on my rehabilitation. I started in late 2006 at the Cattle Correctional Center, and I haven't stopped since. This desire to change, the preventive tools that I have learned, the classes that I have been offered and I've taken have been beneficial in disrupting this cycle that I have found myself in. And it has given me the strength to have positive transformations in my life. I'm no longer full of anger. I've accepted there are things that I can't control. And we submitted an accountability plan. And through this accountability plan, I believe that I will be successful. I wish I had been strong those years ago. And so many people would like to forget their past. I intend to use my past as a tool to learn from, what not to do, when to seek help, how to stay mentally healthy. And I pray you afford me the opportunity for release, because my continuous growth and evolution is strengthened and encouraged by having the opportunity to assist others to make the changes that I have. I've taken all of the programming that the department has offered. I've gained numerous cognitive tools to help me stay mentally healthy. I have 3 very conservative accountability partners that have agreed to mentor me upon my release. I have a mental health support, and I have numerous veteran Masonic and community leaders who will offer social support. I ask that you agree with the plan. I ask that you provide me this opportunity. I understand that I've done approximately 20 years. I understand that if you grant me today that I would have to stay in prison until my full PED. I understand that. I ask that the rest of my time is stipulated toward the 14th Judicial District Veterans Treatment Court. I've always tried to work this program. As a matter of fact, in 2021, I asked the district attorney of my parish and the district judge, would they be in opposition to me participating in the program? And they said no, they agreed. I just pray you give me an opportunity for the rest of my work.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
And thank you, Mr. Prater, for reminding me of that. Mr. Prater is handling your case, and we're going to turn it over to him now.
Yes.
Mr. Bradley, I appreciate and thank you for all the good that you've done. No sense in going over the crimes. You've admitted to everything and admitted to your criminal history, your past, and you've talked about all the good things, as have others. So I can't think of any real questions to ask you. So rather than prolong this hearing, I don't have any questions.
Ms. Stapleton, do you have any questions?
No, sir, I don't.
Is the board ready to vote?
I'd like a quick executive session, talk about a procedure deal.
You get a second?
Second.
Call the roll.
Stapleton,
Here.
Chuck Phillips,
Here.
Steve Praise.
Never had anybody that did that for.
Okay, we're reconvening and we're gonna ask for a roll call.
I'm here.
Chuck Tennis.
Here.
Steve Purdy.
Yes.
Did I ask Ms. Stapleton, you said you didn't have any questions or you have some
No,
questions?
sir, I have no questions, no.
Okay, is the panel ready to vote?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
This is your case, you'll lead us off?
Yes, sir. I've listened to everything that everyone had to say, and it seemed like that, of course, Ms. Thorne had some nice things to say about him. His record has been good while he's been there. He's taken advantage of everything he can. He's leading as he can. He served 20 years on his sentence. I'm going, you know me, I don't do this often, but I think he's sincere. I want to give him a chance. I vote to grant parole.
Ms. Stapleton?
I agree with Mr. Prater for the exact same reasons, and I'd like to see him be able to stay. I don't know if I'll get it right, but is it at Southwest to continue his mentoring program? Where he says he's doing good work and he's requested to stay there. So, but yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
My vote is to grant also. Really appreciate what you've been doing, and I hope you continue to do the right.
Yes, sir.
Our meeting at 11:30. Thank you.
Thank you, Jesus.
Thank you, board.
There you go.
All right.
Ready? The Committee on Parole is called to order. Today's date is August 28, 2024. The time is 11:43 a.m. My name is Chuck Tiller, serving as chair today. My colleagues are Mr. Prater, and Ms. Stapleton. Would you state your name and DOC number, please? I'm sorry, we at the DOC headquarters here in Baton Rouge. And with the staff here. And our remote location is at Richmond. Would you state your name and DOC number, please? Can you hear me?
John Drohan.
What's your DOC number?
774514.
Okay. Is any of the staff there? Would they state their name for the record, please?
Yes, sir. Sergeant Frank Kelly.
Thank you so much. John, we have your record here today. You're up for parole. I'm going to read you your offensive class, first time. Sentencing, molestation of a juvenile. Sentencing date 11/9/2022. Sentenced to 15 years hard labor. Parole date 9/22/24. Good time date not eligible. Full term date 9/24/2034. Your case will be handled today by Miss Stapleton, and we have some people in support and oppose. In support of you, we have Charles McGraves, your father, and Angela McGraves, mother. And also we have in opposition is Brianna Racky. Is that correct? And Janice Brackey. Your case today will be handled by Ms. Stapleton. We're going to hear from Mr. Charles. Can you hear us?
Hear me, sir?
Can you hear us?
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah. Yes, we can hear you.
Yes. Yeah, I can hear you, sir. You can hear me.
Oh, okay, we can hear you. Go ahead and make your statement, please.
My name is Charles Musgrave. I'm the stepfather of John Rowan. He has been a hard worker since I've known him, since I married his mom. He has been not much any trouble per se until this incident. But as of right now, he's got a job lined up waiting for him. He has a home here where he'll be living. Excuse me. Everything else he's been a fine, hardworking young man. And right now, we're ready for him to come home because of our situation at home. We're ready for him to come back to the house.
Thank you. But
I'm sorry, sir.
Go ahead. You finished? I thought you were finished.
Yeah, I'm about as done. That's all I can think of right now. But we're ready for him to come home. And
thank you so much, Miss Angela.
It's Angela.
Okay.
I'm his mother. He's always been a hard worker. Like his father said, never had any trouble out of him. This is the first time he's ever been in in jail. And he like I said, has a home here. He has support from his family. And he's always helped people. He's helped the wrong people. He's gotten with the wrong people, wrong crowd, and that's what messed him up. And so he ain't gonna get back in around them. And and we just need him home because of our health and financial, and so
Thank you.
that's about it.
Thank you so much. Now we'll hear from Miss Brianna. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
You may speak.
Yes, sir. Just tell me you had something written and that you wanted to read it to me, baby. I have something written and I want to read it to y'all.
Sure, go ahead.
I was sexually promiscuous at a young age, and that affected me later on in life. I was more curious about sex than I was supposed to. I should have been worried about sex. I should have been worried about other things like my schoolwork. I'm scared of all men. I'm scared to go out the house. I'm scared that men look at me in a weird way. Every morning I wake up scared with my stomach hurting. No matter how many times I wash my body, I can never get the feeling of his hands off of me. I think to myself, why would he touch a little girl and ruin her mental health? Every day I think of ways I could have stopped it quicker and been braver. I have went to multiple counseling sessions to help me get over what he did, but it never helps. If he is released, I feel like he should do meetings, restitution, and programs. I believe people like him don't change.
Thank you so much. Thank you. The mother?
Yes. I do not believe he should be released. His family manipulated tactically and efficiently to molest my child and my sister's 2 children. His mother and sister work at a daycare. That is how they groomed and picked my children. And all the while his parents knew what was going on and just shined a blind eye to it. This is not like, I have a picture. This is a 6-year-old child. She's sitting in front of you as a 16-year-old today, but this is the age she was when he molested and assaulted her. He is not well. He is not recoverable. And no, he should not be out. I'm sorry his family misses him, but I miss the potential and the what if my child could have been if he wouldn't have took that from her. Absolutely not.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Mr. John, we have handling your case today, Ms. Stapleton. But would you like to make a statement before she starts? Can you hear me? Can you check to see? Can you hear me? Huh?
And we're talking to you.
Yes, sir.
Would you like to make a statement before we pass your case on to Ms. Stapleton?
I'd like to apologize to the community and anyone I've ever hurt mentally, physically, or emotionally. I've been working on trying to get into rehab classes, but they told me I can't because I'm under Act 1209. But I am on the list for Steve Hull. Now they're awaiting the results of my hearing so that I can get into that class and continue my rehabilitation. I apologize once again to the community and everyone I've hurt. And I'm working to change myself and better myself. I've been staying in the Bible and doing little Bible studies with the others that want to change and continue to work with the Lord. And I'm ready to continue my rehabilitation as soon as the Steve Hull program allows me in.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Ms. Stapleton, are you ready to take the case?
Yes, I am. So I listened to what you just said. Of course, I listened to the victims also just now. And what you heard was what happens when children get molested. The consequences are lifelong. This child is gonna, now she's 16 years old, and we can only hope and pray that she does have a breakthrough and is able to get on with her life. I'm going to read what the DA said, and I think it pretty much covers it because this situation started when a child was 4 years old up to the age of 13. So, and there were 3 little girls involved, 3 children involved. So the DA, I think, says it right. On behalf of Caddo Parish District Attorney, the ADA Alexandria, I can't pronounce the last name, submitted the following statement. They strongly oppose release based on the serious nature of the conviction, the number of victims, and the extreme youth of his victims. The DA's office added that DROHAN only pled guilty to 1 count. He was charged with 3 counts concerning 3 different victims. DROHAN's abuse spanned several years, and their office believes he is highly likely to reoffend if released. He demonstrated that he poses a serious threat to the safety of the community, especially children. The lifelong trauma inflicted on his victims cannot be understated, and he should be made to serve the entirety of his sentence. So I think they covered everything. And as far as I can tell, you've only served it from the time of arrest, including that 4 years of a 15-year sentence. Is that correct? Mr. DROHAN?
No, ma'am, it'll be 5 years on September 22nd.
Okay, so you're fixing to serve 5 years of a 15-year sentence, is correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so 1/3 of your sentence. Okay. All right, that's all I have to say.
Mr. Prater?
No questions. No questions.
Thank you. Is the board prepared to vote?
Yes.
Yes.
Ms. Stapleton, since you led, what's your vote?
My vote is to deny based upon the seriousness of the crime and that he's only served 1/3 of his sentence. Oh, and I'm sorry, law enforcement and victim opposition also.
Mr. Prater?
I concur. The seriousness of the crime, the length of time he served, or lack of a length of a time, or the short period of time that he served. And that's the reason I'm denying.
My vote also is to deny. And Mr. Durham, you've been denied today, and this concludes our area. We're signing off at 11:57. Thank you. Good afternoon. Committee for Parole is called to order. Today's date is August 28, 2024. The time is 12:10. My name is Chuck Tillis, serving as chair today. My colleagues are Ms. Stapleton and Mr. Prater. Would you state your name and DOC number, please?
My name is David Bagwell, DOC number 7666674.
We're at remote location, BAYOU. Would the staff there also state their name?
Yes, sir. I'm Major Cole Pepper, Webster Parish and BAYOU DORCHEAT Correctional Center.
And I'm Jason Johnson. I'm the program manager here for Steve Hoyle in the sex offender treatment unit.
Thank you so much. I'm going to read the offense. First class, it's your first offense, carnal knowledge of a juvenile. Your sentencing date was 5/26/22. Sentenced to 7 years and 6 months hard labor. Your parole date is 11/21/24. Good time, not eligible. Full term, 11/22/2029. Mr. Bradwell, your case is being handled today by Ms. Stapleton, but would you like to make a statement first on your behalf?
I stand here before you today just taking full responsibility of what I did, and have done my best to stay out of any further trouble, to put myself in a program that could swerve me back to being a productive member of society and not be a problem to anybody for whenever I do get out and can return.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Stapleton will be handling your case today. Are you ready, Ms. Stapleton?
Yes, sir, I'm ready. So you were charged initially with carnal knowledge of a juvenile, indecent behavior with a juvenile, pornography involving a juvenile, and then another count of pornography involving a juvenile. That was your original charge, am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So tell me what happened.
It was my ex-girlfriend's daughter. She had moved off and was messaging me on Snapchat, and got out of hand. She come back to town and led up to the carnal knowledge. She moved back off and continued messaging me on Snapchat and Facebook. And then around December, when I no longer wanted to have this association or relationship going on, I blocked her on everything, and she took all of her screenshots and turned them into the police.
Okay, and so she was 14 and you were 30, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you took a plea deal. You pled guilty to the carnal knowledge of the juvenile.
Yes, ma'am.
And the rest of the charges were dropped.
Yes, ma'am.
But they did happen.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you got sentenced to 7 years and 6 months.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I don't have any other questions.
Mr. Prater?
I have no questions.
Is the board prepared to vote?
Yes, I am.
Yes, I am.
Ms. Stapleton?
Okay, today I'm going to deny your request for parole based upon the fact that you have not served enough time. You do need to complete the programs for Steve Hoyle. I don't know if the victims are listening, but one of the things that's very important to victims is the fact that there is a lifetime protective order in place for no contact. And I'm just saying that just in case they are listening, because it does concern them. And that's all I have to say.
Mr. Prater?
Yes, I vote to deny also. Needs to serve more time on such a serious offense, especially on a plea bargain.
Thank you. And my vote is also to deny. Mr. Bradwell, this concludes our case for today, and I wish you well. Thank you. We're signing off at 12:15. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, oh, there it is. Oh.
Michael?
Oh. Well.
Cause you can do it on the mic or the headset, you know?
I've been doing it either way.
There you go.
Yeah, that's those extras have been in.
All right, it's on.
Hello?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
The Committee for Parole is called to order. Today's date is August 28, 2024. The time is 12:20. My name is Chuck Tillis, serving as chair today. My colleagues are Ms. Stapleton and Mr. Prater. Would you state your name and DOC number for the record, please?
Joshua Smith, 478649.
Is there any other staff with you there?
Yes, sir.
They state their name for the record, please.
Staff state name.
Good day, sir. Sammy Burns.
Thank you. Our remote location is in Franklin Parish. I'm going to read the charges against you. And they are, Mr. Masters, the charges against you is a third offense. Offenses are CLOD 102627 in possession of methamphetamines, CLD 93312 distribution of methamphetamines, CLD 93313 distribution of methamphetamines, CLD 93314 distribution of methamphetamines, and CLD 90043 distribution of methamphetamines. Sentencing date for CLD 102627 is September 21, 2022. CLD 93312, January 23rd, 2017. Revoked August 23rd, 2022. CLD 93313, January 23rd, 2017. Revoked August 23rd, 2022. CLD 93314, January 23rd, 2017. Revoked August 23rd, 2022. CLD 90043, February 5th, 2015. Revoked August 23rd, 2022. CLD 102627, 5-year hard labor. CLD 93312, 16 years hard labor. CLD 93313, 16 years hard labor. CLD 93314, 16 years hard labor. CLD 90043, 8 years hard labor, 3 years suspended, 5-year suspension, suspended probation. Parole date, August 12, 2024. Good time date, September 3rd, 2025. Full term date, July 20th, 2032. At this time, would you like to make a statement, Mr. Masters?
Sir, I'm Mr. Smith. I'm Joshua Smith, sir.
Huh? We need Mr. Mathers.
They need Mr. Masters. He's going to retrieve him now.
Okay, it's not on the case.
Get back, give me Benjamin Mathers.
Do we have Joshua Smith later?
Well, I guess they had y'all rotation. Now, come on, put your headphones in.
See now, people.
Wasting that. I don't know. I can't hear nothing.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Would you state your name and DOC number, please?
Benjamin Masters, 633-264.
Okay. I'm going to read your offense class. Third offense. First one is possession of methamphetamines. You have 4, distribution of methamphetamines, and your time is 5 years of 16 years, 12 years of hard labor.
Right. Yes, sir.
Okay. Miss, I'm handling your case today. Would you like to make a statement?
Well, I mean, I just got sentenced to a 5-year sentence to back up, and I had to back up my parole. So, I mean, my out date is in March. I'd like to go home early. I mean, I've had some classes now that they didn't offer at the time, and I'm working in work release. I've been here for 3 years. Well, December will be 3 years, and I've been working for almost 2 of it now in work release. And I've taken classes at night to try to better myself so I can be a better for the community.
And I want to say too, I forgot to tell you, my colleagues today that will be voting on this case is Ms. Stapleton and Mr. Prater.
Yes, sir.
You said your out date is in March. March of
Yes,
when?
sir. Yeah, with March 20 of 2025, because I had gotten some good time classes while I've been in work release, and they were allowed to take them at night. So I would work during the day and then take the classes at night.
I see. Well, let me ask you this. What's going on with the distribution of the drugs that you're doing?
Well, I didn't, this charge that I'm in now, I'm not on a distribution charge. I'm on a possession charge. They sentenced me to 5 years. The 12-year sentence on my rap sheet, I've never been sentenced to 12 years. I had a 16-year sentence, 3 of them, and I did 4 years on it. But I've never been sentenced to 12. They sentenced me to 16, and then on my rap sheet it shows 12. But on those 3 cases, I have a copy of my old rap sheet that shows that I was sentenced to 16 years on those. And then I did, and then
16 and 8.
Yes, sir. And then on this one, I got 5 years. That's all they give me for simple possession. There was no distribution involved in this charge I'm on now.
I see. And what kind of classes have you been taking?
I've taken every class that Franklin Parish offers as far as, because I'm in work release, I work 5 and 6 days a week, and they don't offer but 1 set of classes at night. I took reentry, money management. I sent some copies of my certificates to the parole board. I don't know if y'all have received them yet or not, but I sent the certificates to y'all right after I'd finished the class back in June. And they give us 6 months, 180 days for those classes. I know one of them was reentry, money management, computer skills, and there's something else, I think. But I took every class that they've offered here to try to better myself.
And you're saying your good time date, it says here, good time date is September 3rd, 2025.
No, sir. See, I've gotten a new rap sheet. That's not a current rap sheet. That's not my current rap sheet right there. because my new rap sheet is March the 7th, 2025. According to my new rap sheet, and then it shows the good time that the classes that I've taken.
That's what it is. Okay, we're gonna check that out. Ms. Stapleton, do you have any questions you want to ask?
Only question I've got is that you've got you've got an extensive CH, you got an extensive criminal history, and the distribution charges, you know, that affects tons of people. So I'm very concerned about that. I mean, I think this is a very serious criminal matter. That's all I've got to say.
See, the distributions, ma'am, was not, that was back in 2016. I haven't done anything as far as distribution or nothing like that. That was back in 2016. The charge that I'm arrested on now and I'm incarcerated for was a simple possession. Somebody had left something in my truck, and because it was in my truck and it was nobody else in the truck, it was just, it was mine, and they threatened me with a habitual offender act. So I took the 5 years to run concurrent with my parole, and then to save myself being the habitual offender act.
Well, and then you've got some revocations in 2022.
That's now. That's this one I'm on right now. I revoked myself.
Okay, well, here's the deal. You got an extensive criminal history. Even if you talk about 2016, you act like that's separate from your life. That's all part of your criminal history.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's what I'm talking about. I mean, it's a pattern of behavior.
Yes, ma'am.
And so I know you're serving a charge right now on a particular situation, but prior to that, you had these other serious charges that make up your total master rap sheet and your criminal history. That's what I'm talking about. That's what's concerning to me. A pattern of behavior.
Yes, ma'am. I
Thank you.
understand. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Prater?
Yes, sir. Mr. Masters, you're getting out in March of next year in just a few months, regardless of anything else with your good time, correct?
Yes, sir.
No matter what we do today.
About the only way that date can change if I mess it up and do something stupid, and I'm not going to do that.
Okay. And I think what my co-board member was trying to get at is it seems like your life is revolving around an addiction that you have, whether you admit it or not. And I don't know what kind of courses you've taken there, or while you've been either in jail this time or the last time. I don't know what kind of substance abuse classes you've taken, but I don't know that they've taken hold. And so anyway, that's all. I don't really have any questions. I just wanted to get that straight. That one question, what kind of drug was in your car, in your truck?
It was methamphetamines. It was in my truck.
Just a coincidence that that's what you had previously been distributing.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I understand it.
I don't have any questions.
And how long? One other question. How long do you say you've been in?
Since 2021.
21. So you did 3 years. Okay. Is the board ready to vote at this time?
Yes, I'm ready to vote.
I'm ready to vote.
Since I handle your case, I'm going to vote first. Mr. Masters, my colleague alluded to you're going to get up, but I would hope that you would take some more classes and stay away from the drugs. My vote today is to deny. Mr. Prater?
Same thing. It's I don't think he's done enough towards his addiction.
Ms. Stapleton?
I agree to deny. I do not think he's addressed his addiction.
Mr. Masters, it's been voted 3 that we deny your case. This concludes our meeting for today. We wish you well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're signing off at 12:30.